Hello, 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 how is everybody? This is John Mason. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and that is a time we pay our respects to all the women in our lives, our mothers, and our wives, and our girlfriends, and our sisters, and every other woman we come across. Happy Mother's Day, ladies. And if we want the best for the women in our lives, we must protect their reproductive rights. There are all these states going around that places the most onerous restrictions on abortions. Like you can only have an abortion after so many weeks before you even know, the woman even knows that there's a fetus inside of her. And you remembered Katie Britt, the senator from Arkansas, who had this very bad case of ham acting after Biden's State of the Union address. Is that the best the Republicans can do? Well, anyway, she has this bright idea of a database. She's proposing this bill that would establish a database for all women who are pregnant. Hello, hello, hello. John Mason. How is everybody? Hope you're all well. The Free Press has revealed an incident in January where a Defense Department official named Elbridge Colby called Cardinal Christophe Pierre, the Vatican's ambassador to the United States, and kept berating the good cardinal about the almighty military power of the United States, and demanding that the Vatican, the Pope, all get hit their side. And this report came after Pope Leo, in his Urbi et Orbi proclamation, that condemning the war in Iran and the use of military force. It sounds pretty ominous. We have a president and a secretary of War Defense who they all believe that might makes right. That with enough muscle, enough bullying, enough terror, enough threats, you can get away with anything. Is the Pentagon under Hegseth deliberately, consciously discriminating against Catholics? A couple of weeks ago, Hegseth ordered a prayer meeting at the chapel of the Pentagon. It was only for Protestants, no Catholics. So, and you know, J.D. Vance, Trump's vice president, ours, always kept speaking about his conversion to Catholicism in his book, hyping, about that process. There is a grave, grave danger to religious institutions getting too close to the state, because they'll be taken over by the state. It is not for nothing that the founding fathers, the authors of the Constitution, who included in the Bill of Rights the right to worship as people may choose. They know perfectly well how Europe was divided into religious factions and went at war with them. They went at war with each other. And what is Trump trying to do? I mean, he's not a particularly religious man, to say the least. I mean, he insults and makes fun of his evangelical Christian supporters. He he's totally ignorant about religious practices that he calls the communion wafer a little cracker. And don't get me started about how in 2020, when there were demonstrations against police violence, and the one in Washington where Trump strode manfully through a cordon of police, riot police, and all, and help of a Bible the wrong way, just holding it there. Of course, he knows that he's trying to get the evangelical Christians on his side, and they've been a solid voting base. But what about now? So many people the MAGAs are turning against Trump because he promised them no foreign interventions, no war, and he goes and attacks Iran. The point is, currently I'm reading the Pirkei Avot while we're in the middle of the Omer season. That's a little compendium from the Talmud, showing how which we read during the Omer period, trying to teach people how to live a decent life. And part of that is don't get too close to the religious institutions, not to get too close to state institutions, because the state institution will use the religious institution for its own purpose. So, and being of a religious minority, I have to worry about that. We all have to worry about that. Hegseth is close to a Christian nationalist sect, the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, and is strictly Christian nationalists. They want the nation to be governed according to their interpretation of the Bible and not anyone else's. If it's a Christian nationalist regime, they get to decide who's a Christian. I was originally brought up in the United Methodist Church, a very mainstream Protestant denomination, and so where would that leave? Would the United Methodist Church be Christian enough for them? But we have an opportunity. Democrats have been winning state and local elections in notoriously beat red districts all through the country. We have some losses, but the momentum is ours. We have the right and the duty to go to the voting booths and stand up for our rights and vote. That's the key. Vote, vote, vote. That's what we got to do to stop the rise of fascism. That's what this is, fascism. A part of fascism is the merging of religious bodies into the state and the alliance of corporations, private corporations with the state. According to the Italian author Umberto Eco, those are the signs. Those are two of the signs of fascism. Like I said, let's get out there and vote. Okay, I'm all talked out now. Advertisements. All this work I do on my podcast and my blog and my YouTube channel, my poetry, my fiction, they're all work. And I need to be compensated for my work. So, please get on my website, johnomason.com, and click either the PayPal button or the Buy Me a Coffee button and see what you can give. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And also, Hemperific is a lovely little CBD product store located on Snyder Avenue near 15th Street in South Philadelphia. There you'll find some of the finest cannabis-infused products. Gummies and candies and drinks and teas and lip balm and flour and hand sanitizer and dog treats. Yeah, dog treats. Look them up, please. HemperificLLC.com. And also my beloved career and business coach, Michelle Snow. Michelle is excellent in helping you develop your professional career or a small business. Let you know what you're doing right, where you need work, and help you network with other up-and-coming entrepreneurs and professionals. Please look her up. growwithsnow.com. Okay. And I must remind people of the Avignon papacy. It was a period in the 14th century where the papal court, the Holy See, was located not in Rome, but in the city of Avignon in France, a section that was under the domain of the Holy Roman Empire. It was that way that the French monarchy could maintain control of the church. Again, like I warned, state control of religious bodies is dangerous. And we must fight that. And getting out there and voting sure helps. Thanks. Have a good week ahead of you. Shabbat Shalom. Bye.